Good morning, student. I welcome you all in our today's lecture. And in today's lecture, we will perform our second machine exercise, and that is the preparation of your software requirements specification. And in short form, this is called SRS. Okay, SRS stand for Software Requirements Specification. We will prepare our SRS, and this is a main task in your SDLC, software development life cycle, because first of all we have planned the project, then we have distribute the task between the team members, that is developing team, and now after that we have to maintain the document. Okay, and that document is named as your software requirement specification, and this is the text document. It can be in your Word, MS Word, or in any text editor. You can write your document in any text editor, but it should be properly maintained, because after that, the third phase is your design phase, coding phase. All that design is maintained, or design is made according to your SRS. Okay, then coding is performed according to your design. So your SRS should be well defined SRS. Okay, in a proper formal language that a developer, team management, or a team member, or as a customer can understand that document. So write that document in a proper and easy language so that all the team members, all the higher authorities, all the users or the stakeholder can read that document and understand your project. Okay, and what are the contents in your SRS that we will study in our next slide. Content of the lecture is your what is SRS. First of all, what is SRS? SRS is a formal document. Okay, and full form of your SRS is software requirement specification. All the requirement of software should be specified in your single document, in Word document, in a text document. That is your SRS is. Okay. Then we study contents that we will write in our SRS. All that contents, all the purpose, scope, existing program, existing project, or your new project content, function requirement, non-function requirements, graphical notations, software requirement. Okay, that all content should be mentioned in your document. Okay, then we will go through a real demo of your SRS. I will show a template. Okay, template of an SRS, how you will make your SRS of your project. Okay, that I will show you a Word document, how SRS look like. Okay, first of all, what is SRS is? A simple definition is a document used to describe the behavior of software. Okay, the project that we developed. Okay, as a developing team, the project that we developed, that should be described in a document way, and all the behavior of all the functionalities, all the non-functionalities, all the requirements should be mentioned in your SRS. Okay, behavior, function requirement, non-function requirement, all that should be mentioned in your single document. That is your SRS. Okay, all the specification should be written in document form. Then what? Who are the user of the SRS? Okay, who will read that document? Who will go through that document and use that software or develop that software? The users are development teams who will write the SRS, and according to that, the design should be made, coding should be done, okay, and all the further maintenance of your project should be kept according to your SRS, okay, because there are software requirement, hardware requirement are also mentioned in your SRS. Then maintenance team is also the user of SRS is client. Client are your users, customers, stakeholders, okay, all are the users, and they also read your SRS. Like I have given the example in yesterday lecture that the manual, when we purchase any type of appliance or mobile phone or any electronic device, they provide us a manual, and that manual is a document, okay, text document. We will read that document or that functions, and we will perform our device, okay. The same way, while we are developing a software, we should, as a team management or a team member, we have to make a SRS also, okay. So all these are the user of SRS. Development team is the user, maintenance team is the user, client is the user, technical writer are also the user of your SRS, because technical writer can use previous written SRS of any project and also write a new SRS, reading or taking a knowledge from a existing SRS to develop a new product, okay. That is why technical writer is also a user. Maintenance team have to maintain the product. He has to check whether what functionalities, what non-functionalities are written in your SRS. According to that, they will maintain the product, okay. Development team will write the SRS. They will check the SRS, that is the user requirement are fulfilled or not, or design are made according to SRS or not. That all are the users, okay. Then what are the content in your SRS? What content we will write in our document? First of all, we will write a category of our project, okay. Category, and what type of categories they are? If we are making a desktop application, we will write category is a desktop application, okay. Like I am developing a web browser, okay. As a team manager, I am developing a web browser. So in my category field, I will write category that is a desktop application. If I am creating a web page or any type of web application, I will give a category that is my project name is there, okay, and a category is that it is a web application, okay. And if it is Android app, I will give a category that my project name is this one, and it is a type of which category, that is of Android app, okay. That should be mentioned in your SRS. This is the first content, that is category. What type of category your project is? If it is library management, it is a desktop application, okay. If it is for mobile, it should be an Android application. That category should be mentioned, okay. I will show you a document, your SRS, how it's look like here on your screen, okay. First of all, I have written a SRS. My project SRS is this, okay, and project title is virtual classroom, okay. My project name or my project is, or my software is a virtual classroom, okay. This is my project name. Then category is, this is a web application, okay. This is a web application, that is a category. I will write a category, then I will mention what category is it, okay. This is your web application, and this is written in your MS Word docs file, okay. Then next content is your purpose, okay. Why we are developing this project, okay. the purpose of this project. Each and every work that is doing or done have some purpose. Okay, and we are developing a project. This project also have some purpose, and that purpose will be described in our SRS also. Okay, purpose describe what is the purpose of making this system. Okay, why we are making this project, what is the purpose, that also should be mentioned in your SRS. Okay, there is nothing, any type of work done without any reason. Okay, there is a reason, that is why that work is done. Okay, that is why while we are developing a product or a project that have some purpose, that purpose should be mentioned. Okay, next content is your scope. Okay, scope, what this project have a scope in a future. Okay, with your existing project, if there is an existing project, what is the new project or a new modification that is done on that project, what that scope have. Okay, that we have to mention. Okay, means we will follow the existing project, and a future scope should also be mentioned in our system. Scope is what is the area it's covering. Okay, what the area it's covering, what is its range, and what its limit was. Okay, that product now we are developing. The example is the same, your Android. Previous there is your uh, KitKat version. After that, why they are performing a next version, that is Oreo. Okay, after that they another performing a marshmallow. Then there another modification are there, that is your red violet cake. Okay, okay, and in your document, how your scope can be written, that we will see. Before that, what is the purpose? Okay, category is your web application, and purpose is the purpose of developing this virtual classroom is to keep the student and teacher connected through a virtual platform. That is a purpose why we are developing this software. Okay, that we have to write why we are developing our project. That purpose should be written. Okay, scope, what is a scope and what content we will write in a scope, that what this project have a benefit in a future or a current time. Okay, that should be written in your scope. It will integrate the benefit of physical classroom with the convenience of non-physical bar. Okay, that scope should be mentioned, what your project will benefit for us or for the customer or for the user, that should be written in a scope content. Okay, then next is your introduction. Okay, introduction of your project in a detail, defines the existing system and proposed system. Okay, and in your introduction we will describe and define our existing system, means previous system that is developed, and the new system that is developed, what is the difference between these two. If previous is not compatible with the latest technology, that should be written in your proposed system. What the advantages is of your new system according to your previous system, that should be defined in your introduction part. Okay, your existing system should be mentioned in detail, and your proposed system and its advantages and benefits should be written in introduction part. Okay, in the perspective how the proposed one is better than existing, and that should be written, how your proposed project should be benefited according to your previous that is going on project. Okay, that should be mentioned in your introduction part. Then there should be advantages of your project. Okay, your advantages according to your existing. Okay, what is your previous system is working for, Okay, and now that proposed work that is done, that benefit should be mentioned in your advantage phase. Okay, then function requirement of the system and non-function requirement also. Okay, function requirement and non-function requirement I have explained in my previous lecture. There is a slide that is a difference between functional and non-functional. Okay, main functionality should be means main methods or your main operations that is performed, all that should be written in your SRS in your function requirement field, and all that are non-function requirements should be mentioned in your non-function requirements. Okay, that should be written in your SRS. How they will be? Let's see our SRS. In introduction, we will write existing system content. Okay, and all their advantages and disadvantages that should be mentioned. These are the advantages and disadvantages. Then their proposed system that you want to dwell after your existing system that is working currently, and you want to modify your product, that proposed system should be mentioned. Okay, and their advantages, their functionalities should be mentioned. Okay, the system after careful analysis has been identified to be presented with the following modules. That module that we are adding in our proposed system, that should be mentioned. Okay, what functionality is added, what features are added, that should be written in a document for a proposed system. And for existing system, it should also be mentioned in our existing part. Okay, at this part, this one. Okay. Then advantages related to each user. If this is a virtual classroom, virtual class platform, it is advantages for student as well as for teacher also. Okay, that advantages for student, individual user, okay, should be mentioned. Advantages for student are there, and advantages for faculty is there. We have to write for all the user that are using, all that category, for students as well as for faculty. Okay, here for student, it is a time and cost saving. It removes traveling. Okay, education at doorstep. These are the advantage of the virtual classroom for student. Okay, and for faculty, it is flexible for teacher. Effective communications are there. Independent of locations is there. These are the advantage according to the faculty point of view, and there is also advantage for student point of view that should be mentioned in your SRS. Then there is a function requirements. Okay, that should be mentioned, that how it is, what are the function requirement in your system. User must have a valid user ID and password. This is the function. Okay, login module, proper login function should be there. Administration can register new teachers. Okay, this is also a functionality. Okay, this is the administrator function. Administrator will perform this function, that should be written. Okay, then student can choose course. That is also a function. When it click on the course menu, the function will execute. Okay, that module will be executed, and that module have a different functions. Okay, that should be written in a text form. All that functions come in a function requirement. Okay, and there should be a non-function requirement also, that in your non-function, your stability, your uh, reliability, okay, maintenance, all come under your non-function requirement. That secure assess. Okay, secure assess is your non-function requirement. Maximum time availability, okay, that is a non-functional. These are the non-function. The difference I have explained in your previous lecture. And flexibility of your product or services, that comes under your non-function requirement, that should be written in your SRS. Then software tools are there. Okay, what type of tools are used while developing, okay, while developing a system. And this is a developing team side, the what type of software we want or resources we want to develop our product software. Okay, that should be mentioned. Database server should be there. Okay, client Microsoft Internet Explorer or web browser should be there. Development tools like Microsoft Visual Studio should be there. Okay, programming language that is C# should be used. These software should be mentioned, what software we have used while developing this product. Okay, that software should be written so that the user can understand which software they use to develop that product, or team management use that product. That should be mentioned here. Database, the clients, browsers, okay, development tools or programming, any type of example is there. Okay, while in a previous time, while we go in the market, we purchase a CD or a DVD for a game. They mentioned that this product will compatible with this type of RAM, this type of hard disk, and this will execute on this platform or on Windows or on Linux. Okay, that will be mentioned on the cover page of the CD or DVD. Okay, that is the software tool. Okay, there are deployment tools also. Okay, deployments means the customer will execute that or run that system or a software on which platform, that should be mentioned. And this is according to a client or a user point of view. Deployment means after developing the product, when as a team manager I have to deliver that product to customer, then I have to mention that in our SRS your product will be run on these platforms. It will be compatible with Windows 8, compatible with Linux, compatible with the Unix. This is according to the customer point of view. That should also be mentioned. Okay, what the customer should have to execute or to run that software. This should be mentioned in a deployment field. What type of operating system or platform there should be to execute that system. Okay, and this is the client side content. Then there is a hardware specifications also there. What type of hardware should be used for your project. Okay, this is also in the development team point of view. Okay, while developing the product, what type of software they have used. Okay, that is a team management or team members use this type of processor, that is Intel Core i5. Okay, to develop the product, to develop 4 GB RAM should be there to develop the product. Hardware 640 TB. Okay, this is the maximum storage to develop the product. That should be written in your hardware specification. There is software tools. This is according to developing team point of view. Deployment is according to client point of view. What type of platform they should have to execute the product or the system. If I am the user, I have a Windows 8 to run any type of product. Okay. Then there is a hard disk that is of 640 TB. Okay, to develop the product. Okay, to develop the product, this type of hardware specification should be there. Okay, this all should be written in your SRS. These all contents. Okay, so that the customer can read this, the developing team can read this, the technical writer can read this document. Okay, technical writer will read this document for their new product. Okay, and maintenance team will read this, what functionalities are used. If there is any type of modification is there in the software, they can read the functionality requirement, and according to that they will maintain the product. Okay, that's all in your SRS is. Okay, there is advantages according to student point of view and according to faculty point of view. Okay, and according to your project, what users are there. Okay, that should be mentioned in your advantages. Function requirement should be there. Non-function requirement should be there. Software tool. Okay, what are the software tools? Mention the software tool which will involve in all this development process. Development. Okay, developing teams that are using that tools should be mentioned. Then deployment. After development, what the customer should have to execute that product, that should be mentioned in deployment. What kind of environment will be needed to deploy the software? Okay, that should be mentioned in your deployment. Hardware specification, the hardware required to develop, okay, to develop the product. Then Gantt chart. Okay, Gantt chart should be mentioned. This is optional. Okay, the point is also written, this is optional. Up to your hardware specification, you have to write all these content. Okay, this is all about your SRSs. Now you have to prepare your SRS according to project. First of all, first practical is your to plan your project in your open approach. Second is to track your project in your open approach. And now in today's lecture, in today's practical, we have performed that how to prepare your SRS, that is document. Okay, this is your complete document. You have to write that in your page that this is a SRS. Then we have to write the project name. Okay, and your further contents. There is a category, there is a purpose, scope of your product, introduction, introduction of your existing system, or you have, if you are modifying your product, then proposed system also should be written. Then advantages according to the user point of views. Okay, different users are there. Student are there, uh, your faculties are there. Okay, according to that, you have to write the advantages, then function requirement, non-function requirement, software tool, deployment. Okay, these are the contents that you have to mention in your essay. Okay, that's all about your this practical. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me.